Hey there, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking at some coaching myths this week at DTL, and today specifically is the idea that a lot of coaches put out there, which is you got to be always taking these small little steps. I think the reason for that is there's a lot of coaches who are fearful that their players are always going to be taking big reaches for the ball. You know, big step outs, kind of that lazy footwork. But I want to kind of discuss some times where small steps really are not that good of an idea. The first would be covering ground. All right, if I'm on one half of the court and my opponent hits to the open court, I think it's pretty clear without me needing to go the entire way right now that if I take a bunch of little steps, I'm not going to get there. It's just I got to get into a stride when there's a decent amount of court to cover with, you know, kind of these sprinter steps. You look at a 100-meter dash at the Olympics, they're not taking small little steps, they're stretching out. So anytime we're really covering a good amount of court, we want to be getting off that split and running that ball down. I think you could imagine that if I took smaller steps than that, maybe cut those in half, that's doubling the amount of steps I would take, and there's no way that that would be fast enough to get me to that ball and still execute a decent shot. So covering ground is key. Take longer strides. The second idea is recovery, okay? I'm going to say come from the middle of the court here. If I run a ball down in the corner and I get to this spot out here and I got to recover because the rally's still going, I think it's common for a lot of players to hear from their coach, shuffle step. So we're shuffling all the way back, and I probably made 6 moves there. To me, I'm not recovering quick enough to stay in a point with a player who hits a solid ball. So when we're recovering back to the middle of the court, what I would like to see is, again, more explosiveness out of the corner, which is going to result in me taking a big crossover step and then a couple big kind of gliding shuffle steps. Let's have a look. All right, probably 3 total moves I made. Get out wide, execute the shot, take the outside leg, big crossover step into a little bit of a longer shuffle step. I think we'd all agree the more time we have in between shots from the center of the court, not being stuck to the side, we're playing a much better brand of tennis. So there's 2 instances, covering ground and recovering, that we want to take bigger strides. Now, the time where I think a lot of coaches out there are right to be preaching about smaller steps is when I'm adjusting around a ball that's already within close proximity of where I'm standing. All right, so let's have a look. If Mark feeds me a ball relatively close and I take just kind of one big step at it, I think we agree that's relatively unathletic looking, and my timing with that shot is going to come into serious question. So what I like to see when the ball's within, you know, decent range of where I already am, we come off that split, we bounce around a little bit, and we make sure to really achieve a great point of contact. That's what those good small adjustment steps are going to achieve for us, is a really consistent, solid point of contact. Federer's great at that. Pretty much every pro is great at adjusting around the ball. And the reason for that is the amount of spin that's coming in, the pace of the shot, maybe there's a little wind going around. This ball is just moving so aggressively from a good player that if we ever just stop and take one big step, a lot of times we're not going to have a point of contact that matches up with the type of shot we want to hit. Okay, so definitely within proximity, small adjustment steps, absolutely great. But when covering ground of significance and recovering out of corners of the court, longer strides, definitely the way to go, okay? And that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like below this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so, as well as check down below me in the description of this video. You'll find the link to 3 free courses that Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well, and we'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lesson.